Okay, let's see. Check the homework. Let me get it straight. All right. I hate that shadow right there, but I'll just keep moving it up. So, if you're having to do this homework with me, that's fine. At least you're getting the practice. This is necessary practice here to make sure you know some basics. You will not get full credit though, because if you didn't turn it in on time, because I already have the list of kiddos who turned it in on time. But if you don't turn it in at all, you get 0 credit. So I have to put a 0. Not okay. So do it with me. If you haven't done it yet, if you already did it, you're just checking it. If you did it but you didn't turn it in yet, it's still late. You don't get full credit, but you can check and fix right now to get some credit. So some were confusing and some people skipped a couple. That's okay. At least they tried on the ones they knew. So let's look at this. Basically, we were reminding you that the slope is that number that comes before the x when it's written in this form, and the y-intercept is that extra part added or subtracted at the end of it, right? If you don't have an x, or if you have like 0x, then there's not a slope. There's just a y-intercept. If you don't have anything added or subtracted extra, just a number by itself, then you don't have a y-intercept, okay? So you might just have a slope, and that's allowed. And we can look at some of those in the graph, and you'll see it more clearly as we move on. But right now we're just identifying what's what. So the first two are done for you. So I see the slope is right there, -2. The y-intercept is +1. You're just checking your work or fixing it. Here, remember, if there's not anything before the variable, you put a 1. So that's a -1 for the slope, and there's nothing for the y-intercept. So just to add some notes here, this would be non-proportional, right? And this would be proportional. Because it's just straight multiplication. So if we made a table with this rule, it'd be multiplication only. This one, we'd have to add a little something extra to it. So non-proportional, proportional. Okay, let's keep going. This one doesn't have anything times x, so it doesn't have a slope, but it does have a y-intercept of -2. So when you think about this type of line, y equals -2, it would just be a line. Excuse me. It wouldn't have a slope at all, so it would have a 0 slope. So remember, that's a straight horizontal line across on the -2. And then this one tells you differently, right? The equation. Well, we know it's y equals mx plus b. And it told you what the m was, so it's y equals 3x. And told you what the y-intercept was, b plus 4. So that's what you're doing here, using that format in slope-intercept form. So y equals 1x, or just x, plus b minus 5. Would it be okay if you did this? It would, but I always just save the step and do x minus 5, 1x minus 5. It still shows that the slope is negative. That the y-intercept is -5 where it's going to land. Okay, so what about this one? This should have been y equals -x or -1x, but no intercept, no y-intercept, so you can just leave it just like this. So again, here we have some non-proportional, and proportional going on. And then let's see. So here there's no slope, but the y-intercept is -2. Well, look, we just had that up here. No slope, y-intercept was -2. So all that is, you don't have anything times x. You just have the intercept of -2. So let's see how this side should be. So, it looks blurry. What is the equation of the line with a slope of 2 and a y-intercept of 4? So again, we're using y equals mx plus b. Remember, slope is the m, and y-intercept is the b, so y equals -2x plus 4. Okay. Next one, what is the equation of the line with a slope of 4 and a y-intercept of -2? So y equals slope x minus 2. Yes, it's okay if you did plus -2, but I just do it all at once like this. Save you some steps. Okay. Write the equation of a line with a slope of 3/5 and a y-intercept of -5. So y equals slope x minus 5 minus y-intercept. And then write an equation of the line with a y-intercept of 3/5. That was the y-intercept, and a slope of -5. So they gave it to you backwards. They flipped it. Y equals -5x and a y-intercept of 3/5. Okay. This is very basic, but you got to know how to do this to identify what's what to go, move on to other parts. And just to label them, all these are actually non-proportional. There's another word for this that I hadn't brought in yet, but there's something called direct variation and indirect variation. So the way something changes, direct variation would be all these proportional ones. So I said this was proportional, this was proportional. So anything that's proportional, just know, here's a little note, means it directly varies as you look at, so proportional is direct variation. When you look at tables and stuff, these are interchangeable vocabulary words. I just want you to know that. And then non-proportional would be the other indirect variation. So just some vocab that I don't think I talked about yet that I wanted to toss out there, and we'll keep using it in the future. It says prodigies next. That does not mean free time. It doesn't mean hop on a game or music or walk around the room or shut your computer down and sit there. It's prodigy, and prodigy is practicing for your unit test. And I made sure it was set like that for everyone. So prodigy is what you should be on next. Thank you.